Welcome to Boiling Point, the podcast to motivate ever-evolving entrepreneurs and forward-thinking movement pioneers. Our hosts, filmmaker Greg Hemmings and executive coach Dave Vale, are turning up the heat in the world's business communities. Our interviews with entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and movement makers are raising the temperature of inspiration. Live from the hottest studio in this quadrant of the universe, here are Dave and Greg.
Dave, we're back on the Boiling Point, and what a treat to be hanging out with you again, man. Love having Bill as the co-host, but you know, it's kind of nice for me to be back for a few weeks.
Yeah, it's good to see your face. Good to be with you.
You like doing it with Bill better or me?
I play no favorites. Hey man, you and I go back this is just like putting an old jacket on. No, I'm not trying to segue at all, but it's kind of like slipping on an old jacket or a combination of, my favorite kind of old concert shirts if I did go to concerts.
Hanging out with you it reminds me of those old concert shirts that you just never want to get rid of because they're so special. But they're so ratted and tired, and your wife wants you to get rid of them, but you don't want. I'm just joking, Dave. Nobody wants me to get rid of you. Come on.
Oh, good.
No, this is a good transition into our 2.0 conversation with my good friend Shamini Dana from Dana Inc., who, if you remember, I don't know how many, maybe just a few months ago, we released part one.
Yeah. October. I think it's October.
That's right. And since then, Dave, I was able to order my very own circular memory jacket. And I'm going to show you the other side of this in a few minutes. But this jacket, Dave, is so cool. And I've worn it in the pouring rain, and it's super comfortable. And Shamini's going to tell us all about it. And then I can't wait to actually reveal what's on the inside. So Shamini, welcome back to the Boiling Point.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so honored and excited to hear all your stories, Greg, about your adventure in doing all of this. It's super exciting. This is the part where most people get thrilled to really appreciate someone else's value and memories. This is what it's all about.
That's really cool. So for the listening audience who didn't listen to our first episode, why don't you introduce yourself and the company and this very special product that was just launched? If you're listening to this podcast, it has been launched.
Yeah. So the name of the company is Dana Inc., and we're a certified B Corp since 2013. We are in the world of fashion and apparel. Dana stands for offering a new way of connecting to people and planet through the medium of fashion. We do this with circularity principles. And what that means is most of fashion across the world use a linear model where you take waste and you dispose. We believe the new frontier is all about circular fashion, where you never dispose of it in the landfills. And so Dana's spearheading and pushing this new frontier where we co-create all our designs, all our products with the customer. So nothing gets actually produced if the customer is not involved from the get-go. And this means designing your product, in this case, the circular memory jacket, our first one, with zero waste in mind. So what happens is the circular memory jacket is made out of the exterior shell, which is for travel on the outdoors. And it's made with what we call dead stock, excess fabric that is available that we've diverted from the landfills. Otherwise, it would have gone to the landfills. Side note, 73% of all global textile waste today in the world ends up in the landfill. We don't want that. Not good for the environment. So that's the outside, exterior. The interior is where you as a customer comes in. We believe that you've traveled the world, experienced life with your loved ones, people, your pets, and you've done that with a piece of clothing on you, correct? Sports events, rock concerts like what Greg did. And you always seem to be wearing a piece of garment, right? And that has a potential power of connecting you to people and planet. Well, you take that all in your wardrobe, probably 10 of them, and then you infuse that into this jacket. This is what it is, a circular memory jacket. So
Why don't I show Dave? And for the people listening to this on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure you go find the Boiling Point on YouTube so you can actually see what we got here. Dave, this is the inside liner.
Oh, very cool. You got like this CBC thing going on there in the middle.
Yeah.
Again, Greg. Can you show me that again?
Well, actually, how about this? I've got a bunch of photographs that I'm going to share with you guys. And again, for the listening audience, we'll be a little descriptive and explain what we're seeing as we see them. That's with Jen Chamberlain. That was last night. We had a bonfire. We're closer than 6 feet. It was only for a second for the picture.
It's got social cohesion, not social distancing.
But the listeners wouldn't know the difference. So here's a picture of me wearing the jacket inside out last night.
Like nice pose, by the way. Oh, another nice pose.
Yeah, it's all about the fashion model pose, Dave. Now, of course, the buttons weren't set up to be worn inside and out, but I had a ball wearing it. This is the way it's supposed to be, Dave. And I shot these photos for Chamonix for her marketing efforts. And this was a very cold day on the side of the river.
He's a natural model.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah, during the floods of 2020, and that's what it looks like on the inside. So we've got a Heart Fund shirt, we've got an old Accomac shirt, we've got a Grateful Dead Steal Your Face shirt, we've got a Fish shirt, we've got a Willis shirt. We got it's all in there, man, and it's awesome. So Chamonix, has this been picking up? Like, have a lot of people made orders so far?
Yep. So we've got quite a number of folks in the making. It actually will be launched fully on 19th of May. We have both parents that have gifted their spouses with baby clothes inside of it as a journey. We've got people that gifted it because of graduation. And I was like, just thinking about that, I was like, really? All those graduates, 2020, right? Nothing. They didn't have a ceremony to go to. Mm-hmm. And so one of the folks our customers actually gifted it to her son and said, this is what we're going to do for him because, this is special, right? He's got 4 years of jerseys and sweatshirts. And so let's do that. So that's another one. And of course you have the Beatles. We're coming up with the Beatles theme as well inside. So, it's various kinds of memories. People are being drawn to this jacket. So we're seeing a mix of why they value what they do. And so that, we're hoping that, eventually it'll be an iconic art exhibition in the cloud.
Chamonix, how are people learning about it? Like you're describing, I mean, Greg and I through the podcast, I actually, like when Greg was sending stuff off, I swore I was going to send all these old hockey jerseys.
You did.
I can't find them. So like talk about getting rid of stuff. I think someone may have got rid of them. So like, I've got some jerseys I've used currently, but I don't have any old ones. So I'll have to think of something else. But so we've heard about you through this podcast. How are other people hearing about this and getting, and maybe explain the process, or maybe from Greg's side, you can explain the process, because from what I understand, it's pretty simple to get involved and to get the product.
So you can actually start the process with going online to purchasing it, right? So you get onto our website. It's going to be on Donna-circularmemoryjacket.com. And so you get to see the visibility of the product. And what's really cool is you're going to get to see it in AR, augmented reality too. And so the jacket, you'll see it, and you can turn it around, this and that. Once you're captivated by the story in terms of what it represents, you then have an ability to choose the exterior. There's about 8 different colors. When we first launched it on Kickstarter, we only had 4, but now we've added another 4 more. And then you actually end up deciding on the color, the size, also the features, where you want to put the zips and things like that. After you purchase it, there's a survey that's sent to you. It's a little bit of in-depth, not only getting to know your size and your requirements, but what you can and cannot send. Because we can't do everything in terms of the lining. There are certain things we're not putting into. So for instance, lace that is very fragile. We're not doing leather. So we walk through with you either on a call or like a Zoom here. And then it takes about 4 weeks because it's 100% customizable, right? It's made in the USA. So we are supporting our local workers here. And so that will take a bit of time. And then after that, you'll get it nicely shipped to you. Now, remember that at any point, if it needs to be repaired, we will do that. And once you've used your clothing, the jacket, we've also requested you to take the circularity pledge and send it back to us because we design for zero waste. We'll repurpose everything and then upcycle it again.
That could be a decade from now. The way it looks very heavy duty, Greg.
Well, it totally is. And Shamini, I never doubted for a minute that it would not be a totally functioning jacket. But when I got it, it's a legit, Patagonia high quality style outdoor jacket. Like, this is going to be an awesome sailing jacket for me. And like I say, it was pouring rain. I was out working on my sailboat, and it kept me totally dry and warm in the crazy wind. And it's a fantastic jacket.
So why orange for the outer shell?
Yeah.
The blue, my other jacket I've got's already blue. So there was a blue. I don't know. I've never had an orange jacket.
And you look good. You look good in it. Oh my God. Yeah, totally.
And of course, it also matches my external hard drive. Right. So,
in case you fall off the sailboat, people will be able to find you too.
Well, when I went through that process of going through the checklist, and I had the opportunity to pick the outer colors, I haven't seen many orange jackets like that, and I've got a lot of comments on it just because of the color so far. And so I wanted to stick out of the crowd. And like I say, it's a great safety jacket. We were walking through the woods in the fall when there's yahoos with guns shooting all over the place. I said it respectfully. All I'm saying about that is, sometimes in New Brunswick, you might go for a nice little hike about 2 kilometers behind your woods, and then people are shooting deer. So wearing orange jackets is always smart.
You definitely stand out. Yeah, there's a blue, there's an olive green, there's a black, and of course now you get into the pink, the red, the mustard, and the purple. So we're doing that. Mind you, this is for the adults, right? But we're introducing the kids later on this year. So a lot of parents have asked us whether there's going to be one. I'd like to find out, Greg. Really curious. When you went through this whole process, how's it changed your viewpoint on fashion now? Has it given you more of an attachment now to your clothing?
Well, it's interesting because when we first had you on the podcast, I was thinking about all these amazing rock shirts that I had just gotten rid of because we were just getting ready to move to a new house. And my wife and I did a total purge. And we did our part in upcycling, if you will, by passing it on to, we have Value Village here, and we've got, different places to take your clothes. So there's a lot of storied t-shirts that I would have liked to have in here. But these ones were awesome too. But it certainly going through this process made me triple think, whenever I buy a new shirt or something, that where is it going to go once it gets tattered? The other day I had to throw out a bunch of socks in the garbage because they're just filled with holes, and I was like, that's landfill. But I may not have thought of that before,
Right.
So I'm like, hey, of course I thought of it before, but for something like a sock, you just chuck it. But that's also material waste that ends up in the landfill. Yeah.
But just to add to that, that's what I took as I had no idea how much waste. I don't know, and I even remember saying it makes so much sense. I don't know why I had no awareness of this, but I just never thought about it. I think about a whole bunch of products where they go and recycling and that sort of thing. For whatever reason, it never occurred to me, that there's no place to recycle clothes unless people are going to reuse them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's but when you like we talked, or I was asking you earlier about how people are finding you. Like how is the message getting out? I mean, you're doing a podcast, so we know about it. Our listeners don't know about it, but how are other people finding out?
So we are doing a press release, and so the major papers will be press will be getting this out. Hopefully they'll tag on to a new solution, because there's a lot of bad press in the fashion industry today, and it's associated with climate change. And so the industry is going through a huge transformation. And so, I mean, Vogue Business, not too long ago when COVID hit, they were expecting a 600 billion drop in sales. Billion, right? This is a $3 trillion industry.
Wow.
And so you see all this, consolidation, there's bankruptcies going already, people are shutting down, people going, and everybody knows that if that much of inventory is going to be either sitting or going to be going to the, we don't want it going to the incinerators, right? You don't want it to be burnt. And so people are very well aware of the fact that this is actually going to cause more carbon emissions if it gets into the landfills. And so the awareness has actually grown, and people are looking for solutions. So hopefully the press will pick us up. We are also very much intertwined and partners of organizations such as the B Lab, right? The B Corp community, the very conscious consumer. Common Objective over in London is a facilitator of doing business better in the fashion industry. Donna's also a member of Green America. They're doing probably a feature on us. We're also being able to promote this through the Textile Exchange. And then the Ellen MacArthur Foundation is doing a series on linear to circular, right? Moving across industries. And so we have actually, and we're partners of them because we are a global 2020 fashion commitment signatory brand. And so we're hoping through these various different avenues, we're able to get to customers. It would be nice when COVID is, sort of not done away with, but when we get to open a pop-up store, we will be able to get people to come and see and touch and feel. But at this point, we're relying a lot on word of mouth and just the genuine interest of people to be part of the solution.
And it's interesting. I sent you a note yesterday or this morning, I think, Shamini, that I was on the B Corp B2B call yesterday, and we got business owners potentially from around the world on these calls that we have, Dave, once a month. And last night we had people from Ecuador, from Argentina, also the US and Canada. And somebody else mentioned what Donna is doing, what you're doing for medical masks, or not medical masks, but masks for people.
Cloth masks.
COVID. And then I just lit right up. I was like, okay, everybody, can you give me 1 second? I have to run and show you what I just got. I ran to get the jacket. I came and I did this big fashion show for everybody that was on the call.
Yeah.
And and it was legit. That was me excited about the product and sharing it with that particular community. So hopefully everybody gets one of your jackets.
I am really impressed with your follow through on this, Greg. So there's the pressure's on me now.
Have you seen my jacket? This is this is the jacket. Look at this.
Oh wow.
So, Shamini, you got to tell Dave about the climate rides, especially in Nova Scotia of all things.
Oh yeah. So, Climate Ride is a nonprofit association, that raises funds for their beneficiaries are these nonprofits that are doing work for the environment to protect and preserve. So they're one of the only associations, nonprofits, that actually raises funds and awareness on that. And they do that with outdoor activities, first with biking, they've got hiking and running as well. And so I've done 10 of these so far in a decade. In 2018, I did a climate ride cycle in September to Nova Scotia and all around Nova Scotia.
Oh, wow.
And then in earlier on in the year, we went to Bhutan. And, you know, it was extraordinary, from the people to the reverence of nature. Both communities have just a reverence for the environment and nature. It was absolutely thrilling. We did, you know, Century Rise as well. And so with these jerseys I've had across a decade, you know, it's just piling up. And I thought, you know, I get to wear it in my Circular Memory jacket now. And so I do. And that's, you know, that's my way of feeling close to my memories, right? And I think that's important.
And did you get orange on the outside as well?
No, I actually got the outside is actually
Oh, cool.
blue and green. Yeah, blue and green.
So similar tonality as your current hoodie there, Dave.
Yeah. No, I'm starting to think of colors and stuff. And through COVID, how was your operation adjusted or changed, or what's been happening on that end, Shamini?
Yeah, you know, interesting question. Before we launched this product, the Circular Memory Jacket, we were contacted by our first responders, the fire and the police department here in Marin, the city, and said, you know, you make clothes, could you make cloth masks? Because, you know, they need to go out. And so we immediately took to the call, and understanding that we have the supply chains and we can work with factories here, and we have the knowledge. We quickly made masks. We've already sent out 200 over, and doing that. And now it's online. So it's made out of batik, and it's all circular design as well. So it's fabric that is just, you know, sitting around, or we found. And these are beautiful cloth masks inspired by nature-inspired designs. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that sort of picked up. We're working with different businesses to have it out as, you know, COVID, the lockdown sort of eases up. And this is an election year, and so there'll have to be a lot more people out there as well. And so we're trying very hard to supply businesses as they, you know, open up their stores, and hopefully restaurants as well. So that was unexpected, but we rose to the occasion, like all B Corps do, right? Because it's good for people and planet. And then this jacket is being launched this month, and then we will hope to introduce the other products. Again, all of circular design.
And Dave, I am a legit fashion model. Somebody, I don't know if you knew this, but Dave and I also has been a fashion model on the front page of a very, very fancy fashion men's fashion magazine. I think Dave has one of 100 copies behind him. He's going to bring it over. Take a look at it.
One of 1,000 copies.
Oh, wow. It looks like a vinyl record.
That's what someone else said. Yeah, that's so funny. Anyways, just keep Greg close to me all the time, so he's here in the office.
Show me the ascot as well that I'm wearing.
Yes. Actually, that circular ascot is what you need.
Oh, wow. Look at that. No, that gives me an idea. Yeah.
Hey, listen, ascots are all the rage.
Yeah. So you guys you definitely already are our influencers going forward. So why don't we just keep you, you know, as part of our impact influencer?
We could very well be the handsomest
right
podcasters in all of
at least the best dressed.
In all of Ragged Point and whatever street that Dave lives on.
Long Lane. Yeah. No, our good friend Robert Simmons owns a clothing store, and we finagled that somehow and got on the front of his magazine. It's been a lot of fun and quite well read. But imagine if I get one, and then we could wear them together on your sailboat, Greg.
Oh, I like it. And Dave, you just reminded me. We had Robert Simmons, the guy who owns that other business, Chamonix, on here on the Boiling Point. Are you going to be sending any of these to retail? I know not the custom pieces, but is there any of your stuff that's going to retailers? Because this.
Yes. Yeah. So we've actually had two different kinds of questions come to us exactly to your point. One saying, we love the whole concept of circular fashion. can you just pre-make this with, clothes that you've found? And so we're looking at doing that, so that's pre-made already. And the other one is like, Dave and Greg, not everybody has super amazing, cool memories like you guys. And so many of them said, well, would you sauce if we gave you a theme? And I said, what do you mean by that? He says, well, if we wanted Madonna t-shirts or, like the Yellow Submarine was once whole thing, would you be able to source, from all over the world and call for t-shirts or whatever and then put it in? I said, yeah, we can do that. We'll work with our partners in doing that. So that now it becomes thematic, right? And so, this is really interesting. I think we're going to start a new industry here. It's eBay plus circularity plus sustainability. I mean, it's coming. I mean, polling is going to be amazing. It's just on time, on demand. What's the latest?
That is awesome. Well, if you want to
connect and by the way, I have to tell you this. Like Pride Week, everybody's like, well, maybe you should make like 1,000 of these jackets with rainbows and peace signs and love all in it. And I was like, that's a great idea.
That could be big. There could be, yeah. So you're like May 19th to launch, and you're probably anticipating, a lot of orders coming in. And how can people participate and support you in that? Where can they find more about what's happening and the new products that are coming? Because I'm kind of curious about that as well.
Yeah. So, get on to DonnaInc.com. That's will be launched, DonnaInc.com. And then from there, you'll be able to launch into our circular memory jacket or the masks that you want. We'll have links to press as well as social media. We're on Instagram, definitely. Facebook at Donna-Inc. or Donna Tribe. But that's all on the website, DonnaInc.com.
And it's DHANA.com.
Yeah, Inc. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it will be live then for sure.
Well, Shamini, this is fantastic, and Dave and I will continue to be your fashion spokespeople, representing this part of Canada. So
yeah, you locked us down to these great contracts, and for people that are interested, we're not cheap, right? But we're
cheap at all.
We're good representatives.
We do fashion for beer.
There we go. We would love to talk to people who want to be partners with ours for sure, and promote this idea, especially stores who want to give their clientele, a different way of being the solution.
Dave, I totally think that Paul, I called him Robert earlier. Paul would be perfect. Because as a bespoke experience, people could bring their stuff into his retail store. Right. So here's the shirts. And then he takes care of it, sends it to you.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so yeah, we'll make that connection if you want.
Yeah, no, that'll be great. Yeah. And by the way, you Canadians are just amazing. Our AR technology is coming from Canada.
Whereabouts coming from?
Your company, it's publicly traded. It's Nextech AR.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, when you get online and see the jacket, and you'll be able to see it on your mobile phone or on the web.
Wow.
It's all coming from Canada, and we've got super cool stuff coming on going forward. It's converging. We're actually being called a fashion tech company going forward because we're using the power of technology to enable people. So eventually, you'll have a platform where you can do a lot of the uploading of your materials, and then drag and drop and just seeing everything.
Did you? I mean, I know we're coming to the end, but did you see that when you first started this? Like the tech side, was that part of the vision? Just making
it is. I mean, Dave, can you imagine your own avatar online, just trying out clothing here and there? That's all coming. It's already here. It's just we have to make it, work. Yeah.
I want that type of AR to see what I would actually look like with a shaved head. Like
I'd want to just different hairlines I could have. How's that?
Exactly. I don't think it's going to be, it's going to be less than 2 years. if not sooner.
Wow.
Well, we will.
It's already available. So we're hoping to bring all of that onto a platform so that your avatar can actually look at what is out there and wear it according to your fit. And then the 3D is going to a point where, you know, you can do a custom fit piece of clothing tailored for you. Eventually, you'll be able to print it in a nearby store or even in your home. That's all coming.
Amazing. Incredible. Well, Shamini, we look forward to following you and the success of Dana, Dhana. I want to keep on spelling it for people. And we're just stoked to see what you're doing in the world. So thank you for everything. And thank you for this incredible jacket. It is, all my other jackets have been boxed away. And it's literally my daily awesome jacket. It's still a little chilly here, so it's perfect. So,
perfect. I'm so glad that you're wearing your values and you're wearing your memories, Greg. And I look forward to following you guys and also being able to be I'm so honored that you guys are part of the solution. Thank you.
I think there's something here. Let me see here. Do you know what's funny? I actually had the Boiling Point shirt sent Dave. And I don't see it in here, so maybe I kept that. We actually we've got a Boiling Point T-shirt. Such a high quality, awesome shirt, but it's so tight on me. I've never worn it. Now I'm realizing it's not on. Anyway,
I saw the podcast thing, and that's what I was initially wondering. So I'm jealous, but it's just encouraging. It's motivating me to get involved. It's not going to be hockey jerseys. You know what I was thinking is, I got a whole bunch of shirts from Runs that maybe that's the thing. So anyways, I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Well, check this out. One of my good friends, you know, her dad passed, but she happened to see him this February, and she got a hold of his polka dotted swimwear, and now it's in her jacket.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So there you have it. I mean, that's loved ones, you know, close to you.
Yeah. Well, there's so many different ways you can go with it. Actually, once your brain starts kind of rolling with the different items that you have in your house that are sitting there, looking for something other than a landfill, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think this is just a start of an industry that is about to take off in terms of repurposing what we used to think as valuable, but now we're repurposing it to make it even more valuable.
Amen. Well, on that,
okay.
You have an amazing weekend, and congrats on the launch. And we'll be releasing this podcast right before the launch, so perfect timing.
Okay, well, thank you. The Dana team, our designers, and a whole entire team here in the U.S. are very, very happy, and they say hello. And we hope to eventually be back again with our next new product.
Awesome. Okay, Shamini, take care. Thanks for being on the Boiling Point.
Thanks, Shamini.
Okay.
Be safe.
Bye.
Take care.
You too.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Boiling Point. Remember to rate and subscribe to us on iTunes and follow us on Twitter @BoilingPointPod. To see more from Dave Vale, check out leadershipunleashed.ca or visioncoachinginc.com, and on Twitter @Dave_Vale. And to catch up with Greg, visit hemmingshouse.com and @Greg Hemmings on Twitter. Thanks for listening, and remember, keep that pot boiling.